Very welcome to today's webinar hosted by me. We're gonna fill your content plan for 2024 in a flash. We're gonna talk about the keys to filling it out, a lot based on all the amazing stuff that you've been doing in 2023. So we're gonna talk repurposing, and I'm gonna give you a 5-step framework because people love I love the 5 steps too. It's comprehensible, it's easy to consume. So I'll make myself smaller, hopefully. I'm in the small square now. And of course, first I want to introduce myself. My name is Heidi Bordal. I work as a community manager here. I handle the distribution of content on our social channels, and I've been filling out my 2024 content plan this week. A lot based on the great stuff that our content manager, Maddie, has been creating this year, which is amazing. I wanted to very smoothly say welcome to my birthday webinar because it's my birthday today. So I'm really excited to be celebrating that with you, but I didn't find a good segue for that. So I'm going to give you a brief agenda, what we're going to talk about. Obviously, what is the key to social media success, and why repurposing your great stuff, the gold mine of content that you're sitting on, why that should be the foundation of next year as well. I forgot to remove how to refine your scripts. That was from last webinar. I'm off to a great start. And then I'll show you the resources that we use, how we do it, so that you can do the same. And as always, I want to give you a warm welcome to join our Facebook community. It's a group on Facebook run by a bunch of enthusiastic people here at Storykit. It's called Video for Social Media. You'll be able to click the link when we send this keynote out. We're 3,600 something marketers and loads of Storykit users. So we share a lot of best practices and how-tos and inspirational videos to just give you, inspire you on what you can do for yourself if you're a Storykit user, or just good, hopefully a lot of insights when it comes to social media and also paid advertising. So why are we here today? Well, it's because, of course, lots of social media marketers, we easily fall into the trap of underposting. And I just now saw a comment from Liam that we might not be rolling as we should, since the chat has been quiet for a while. I was assuming that it was. I'll keep going, I guess. You'll have an audio recording of this. But why do we fall into the trap of underposting? Well, I think there's some misconceptions. There is some myths that we're here to break. Well, there's a fear of overwhelming your audience. I heard this from a lot of colleagues in the business. Our users struggle with this. It's the fear that we're going to bore people out, that we're going to put too much out there so people feel overwhelmed. And of course, there's always the challenge of finding new, exciting content. We wake up in the morning and we try to get ideas and quick inspiration on what to post. That is hard. Well, I want to break down those myths. Not that I myself feel that I'm afraid to bore people out or that I'm always 100% sure what we're going to post, but these are some things that I try to remind myself of. And the first one is that people spend hours and hours to actually go online and find content. And they've decided to follow you for a reason. They want to hear about you. They want to hear about what you know. And that's why we shouldn't be afraid to post a lot. Because the harsh truth is also that, I mean, if you work with organic posting, such like I do, the the risk or the chance of everyone following you seeing every post is kind of small. And especially, I know that a lot of people, including myself, has been struggling a bit with the platforms lately. I mean, struggling, we're always struggling, but a little more than usual, perhaps. There's like constant new algorithms, and they're doing so many updates. So yeah, it's organic posting is not for the weak, as my dear colleague Sophia said the other day, and I agree with her. And the reason that you should publish a lot of content is because as long as it resonates, which it already does or eventually will as you go on and learn new things, repetition and repeating yourself will increase recall and recognition in the feed. And that's like, I would say, top 3 most important things is that when when I'm starting to get sick and tired of what we're talking about, that's when it's starting to stick with the audiences. And well, I see in the chat that people are asking if it's postponed. I'll keep going. And if not, we will just have to record this afterwards. It will be fine. And you already have, and this is like what we've been saying so much lately, because it's super important that you will know that you're sitting on a gold mine of content. You've done so many things throughout the years. You have written the press releases and the newsletters and the reports, and you conducted case studies, and you have all of your articles and your blog posts. So you already have what you need. And today we're just gonna figure out how to use all that. So you don't have to start from scratch. You don't have to go look for new things all the time. So I think we're going to start about talking a bit more about repurposing, because this should be you will do as you want, but the foundation of your content plan should, for the bigger whole, be repurposing, because it would be a shame if you just let all of the stuff that you've created just publish it once and then let it collect dust. No, your content deserves more than that, a lot more. So repurposing, as we see it, is like this, an actual strategic process. So you're transforming the content that you already have, the blogs and the case studies and the ebooks and the website pages, and distribute it in new, fresh ways across your social channels. And it's super easy to do in Storykit. I'm not going to be afraid to brag about our product, because I sincerely know and think that it's a great way to get new eyes on it and to give it second life. So it's about leveraging what you already have. This means that you will reach new audiences, because you can use it as a reminder to the ones that you've already talked to, or you can actually reach the new ones because people are constantly starting to follow you, and you don't want to let that great post that you published in March go unseen for the new audiences. And repurposing and redistributing actually saves you both time and money, because if you can easily repost or redistribute something that you've already done, you got a lot more time to spend on other things. If you already know what to post in March, you can start working with the content now that you will publish in September next year. And as I was saying before, reinforcing your key messages is super important for you as a company to consistently showcase your point of views and what makes you the great company that you are. And of course, it will simplify the planning process. We have the sheets that I will show you later already set up, so you can just go in and pick and choose from that what you've already created, and that will make the planning a lot easier. So we're gonna create not your specific individual content plan, but we will be creating one. And we have this 5-step framework, and I'm gonna, for some of these steps, just screen share more or less what we do so that you can do it yourself. I'm gonna have a quick look in the chat. Let's see. Google's video streaming services are down globally. It is being recorded, absolutely. Sorry, rearranged. You should reschedule. Yeah, we're leaning. The webinar is actually hit by. I'm very, very grateful that so many of you are still with me, even though this is not the ideal setup. I'll keep going and you'll get the recording and we will rearrange this. Okay, now I'm going to start screen sharing. But these are the 5 steps. I'll talk about how we do the content audits, where we gather all of our existing and upcoming content in one document. Very easily to like get an idea of what you've been doing, and when you're collecting all of your stuff, as I said, you can just easily pick and choose. And then we're going to prep a calendar so that we can plan ahead or be super spontaneous. You can always do edits. And then my favorite part, we're going to get creative and decide on how to distribute one piece in multiple ways. And I'm going to show you a very nice way to do this, because today, actually, we're launching a feature, in a beta feature, that will make the one piece of content, multiple videos, a lot easier. I'm super excited for this one. Then these resources that we're using is going to make it even easier for you to track your content and add new stuff. So step 1, gather your content. And this might feel like a bit overwhelming, because you know that you've been doing so much stuff this year. So this is perhaps the thing that will take a bit more of your time. You'll maybe have to spend like half an hour on this, but it's going to be worth it. So now I hope that you see my screen. So this is what we made for you. Maddie, our content manager, has set this amazing document up. I've been trying to create Google Sheets, and I've been trying to use the different software programs that lets you schedule and organize all of the stuff that you've been doing. But I always end up not knowing which, where should I put the headline, which column should I use for this, which rows should I use for that. But it's already here now, which is amazing. So in this calendar, we call it, it's a calendar, but it's also a library. And I'm going to walk you through this, so hopefully it will make more sense. We've had a few discussions internally on what to call stuff and how to make it easier. But yeah, so this is the content calendar, and I'm going to talk from one like content team perspective, and then I'm going to move on to talk about the social media perspective, like the social media team that you might have. So at Storykit, we're 2 teams, but we're one-man teams. So Maddie is our content manager. She writes the articles, she does the interviews for the case studies. She's an amazing productive writer. So all of the longer pieces of content that we have, she's created them. So she's the content team. And in this calendar, she puts in the lack for better words, all of the stuff that she's creating currently. So this list will only get longer the more that she produces, more or less. So in February, these are the ones that we just chose to showcase an example. But from February, she started February 6th. And then she's more or less added the links to the content, gave it a title just to make it easier for other people to find what kind of content type that it is. And then me, the social media team, I say within the quotation marks, I go in here and make sure that it's distributed at least once. Then I add what kind of post this is, what I want the content, the video that I'm distributing to promote the blog post or the case study, what I want to achieve with that specific video, what kind of video it is. So I want to either drive traffic to the article so that more people can find it and read it in its whole, or I'll do a summary, just summarize what the article is about so that people get an idea of it, or I will take away I'll do some key takeaways so that people, what I would call like for people can consume in feed. It's not made to drive any traffic anywhere. It's just that hopefully our audience sees it, they get a bit educated on what the article is about, and then they can scroll on. And I'll make sure that it's distributed, of course, at least once, but we won't stop there. So maybe the day after, if I did a in-feed video the day one, maybe I'll do a drive traffic video day number 2. A week after that, I'll go back and see, okay, I did key takeaways last week. This week, I'm going to do the a quote video, a testimonial video. And this doesn't have to be from a person. It can just be like a one slide type of quote. And I mean, you can do this for as many times as you want. You can distribute it forever if you want. Then on this other, what's it called, Fleek tab, this is the library. So this is where Maddie, content team, collects everything that she's ever done. So this is where, like, on the one tab is the calendar to when it's going to be distributed, and this is the library for her to keep track on what she's been doing. So I hope this makes sense. This what's it called, template comes with instructions as well, so perhaps you're even better at understanding more than I'm making sense. I'm gonna have a quick look in the chat just to see how it's going. Okay, the Google's down, so thank you so much for sticking. I'm gonna just keep on going. This is good repetition for me. Okay, I'm gonna check my notes to see where I was. So you can plan ahead or be very spontaneous with this. Yeah, so this is centralizing all of your content, all of the best performing pieces of content that you have. So this is for the content department, and it's a way for the social media department to see what's coming up and what has been done. All right. Now I'm going to go to step number 2, which is prepping the content calendar, or if you'd like it, the distribution calendar. And this is my favorite document because this is for the social media team. I'm gonna have a quick sip of water because this got me stressed. but we're fine. Great birthday webinar. Okay, sorry guys. Okay, prep your content calendar. Let's head over to the what's it called? Sorry, the distribution plan. Here we are. This looks a bit massive because there are many rows, but that's because you can do this for so many times. To give you like an idea or like some context to what we do for this to make perhaps even more sense from our point of view, is that for the past year, we've been working in 2-week sprints. So Maddie, the content team, she produces one article. No, I mean, she produces maybe 5 every 2 weeks, but for like the sprint themes, we base the themely content. That's like what we're going to talk about for 2 weeks, and then we'll put other stuff on top of that. But we work in 2-week sprints, meaning that based on one article, we do 5 to 10 videos. So every other day, there's a video that is only based on this one piece of longer content. And that can be an article or a case study or report, whatever we decide on. And then on top of that, we'll do other things that we're also going to talk about very soon. Okay, so Maddie, she's created a blog post and it's called How to Fuel Your Content Engine, Give Your Content a Second Life Using Video. We also base our webinars on these articles. So I decide which post to create based on this article, because the way I see it is that every sub-headline in Maddie's article is a video to me. That's how I read articles and I see videos, because I'm very indoctrinated in what I do, which also means that I have it can be hard for me to explain sometimes because it's so much in my head, but I'm trying to get better. Anyway, so I'll do one video just to promote the article and to like give the article a second life. And that's only meant to educate and feed. So I'll only look at like view times for that one. I want to educate someone. If I have an article about fueling your content engine, I can do just take out the key points that Matt is making in the article. And what I want is for someone to watch that video and to have a good idea of how to give a content second life. I'll do a couple of those. Then in that article, we put in a quote by someone named Braden Cohen. He's been working at, I think it was Hootsuite. He had a powerful quote about how more distribution means more reach. I like that. So I made a video only with that quote, and that's meant to drive traffic. Hopefully people will see the quote and they'll be like, ooh, I want to know more. You know all this, of course, how this is done, but it's been working very well for us, and hopefully you'll just feel that it could for you too. So every sub-headline in this long article is a video, and I'll use those to keep like iterating on our point of view here. And the great thing is that the first one I did on the first key takeaways, I can redistribute that single video. I'll choose some other background asset. I'll change the wording somewhere. Maybe I'll use another intro. And that's another post. And that's how we make 10 posts based on one article. And then I'll add the link to the video that I created, just so that it's easy for me to duplicate that storyboard or that video and do my small edits and changes. So we got everything covered. And then if I decide to schedule it, because I know that I want to talk about how to give content second life with video again in March, I can do the changes in my storyboards and I can schedule that for March. So I don't have to think about March when it comes to posting 10 for the first 2 weeks, because I know that in March we're going to have this huge event and a lot of time is going to be I'm going to need to spend on that event. But I know that I have my posting done. I know that I will keep up the activities on our social feeds, and that takes away a lot of stress and it saves me time. And since it saves time, it saves money. Then the actual like distribution calendar, this is where we get really nitty gritty about exactly what and when to post something. So as you hopefully can see in column L, it says goal, copy from cell EFG. So all of the stuff that I have in this organization sheet that is called the January distribution plan, I will just copy paste that and decide on exactly which date. And it doesn't have to be the 2-week sprint. If I posted a quote from a great case study, maybe back in, that came from like the case study that we did a couple of months ago, I don't have to do them in a row. I can plot one in here, here, and here, just to have that consistency. So you can be as planned out or as spontaneous as you want. So this is the social media document, whatever suits your workflow and communication better. So I start with one bigger, longer content piece. I divide up, I turn that into 5 small pieces, like a quote, a key takeaway. I can do an image, just saying, or I can do a short clip. And with this strategy, I'll have a month of content, which is very nice. And as I said, don't be afraid to remind your audiences, the new followers and all of that. So the next step is to get creative. And this is where the fun begins. If it was working correctly. But whether or not you decided to pre-schedule something or that you want, what you want to use, you decided on the day, just remember that you don't have to do it in its original form. You can do it in multiple ways. So I guess I talked about this on step 2, but just to reiterate, reinforce what I meant was that if I have a blog article, I'll do a trailer or a listicle or a key takeaway, a summary or a quote. If I have a case study, I can summarize it in a new format or take a quote from that. And such. I think we'll just move on to the next one. I didn't have a sheet for that, so if you're just seeing step 3, let's get creative. That's on purpose. Step 4 is to track your content, to try to get an understanding of how it's doing. And this is my like an additional tip, so don't get too we're not supposed to freak each other out or like freak ourselves out, but The tracking means that I'm guessing the tracking here, you can always add in your notes either the platforms that you posted on, to make sure that, okay, I've done this 2 times on LinkedIn, I can try it out on Instagram or on Facebook, or maybe I can do a TikTok about it. I'll go and publish something on X. And it just, for me, it gives a sense of organization. And even though the head spinning, you get an idea what you've done, which is very helpful. But this is absolutely something that you can skip. The most important thing is that you're distributing as much as possible. And step number 5, this is probably something that is, to me, the most fun. No, it's not the most fun, but it's super fun. Because when I know that an article is going to be distributed 10 times, I know that I have 10 posts, I can easily fill in the extra good stuff. So that could be that Wizowl, another video and animation platform, they do the stats of the state of video marketing every year. Of course, I want to grab something from that. So I can easily add that to my distribution plan. I will have some new colleagues, and I want to highlight them in our feeds. So I can easily just also add that to my distribution list. There's a recruitment ad, and that's it's going to give its love as well. So blend old with new. And while repurposing old content, that's the backbone of your strategy and your content plan. Of course, you want to do new stuff. You can react to trends, the stuff that you can do when you're feeling inspired. You listen to a great podcast on your way to work and you decided to make a post about that. And you can post more than once a day. So if you have something going out that you know is already planned for and scheduled, it's easy to make something new. And this is where you can use the content library, which is very great, and the calendar. So as soon as you create something new, you can just add it here, and that will help you track it more easily. Okay, I'm feeling a bit, not depressed, of course, but since it didn't go as we planned, I think we're gonna jump into something different, but that aligns very well with this, because if you do what I'm about to show you, if you do, okay, I'm start over. We have a new launch today, which is amazing and huge. So I'm gonna show you the beta feature that we're launching today. And that is what we're calling content campaigns. So start screen sharing again. If you log into Storykit, you'll see that there's a new button on your top right corner. It's called New Campaigns. What this does is that it will take one longer piece of content, one article, one blog post, one case study, a report. Soon it will even take PDFs. We're consistently working on this, so it's going to be super exciting. But what it does is that it turns it into up to 6 new videos. 4, 5, 6 different videos. So I'm going to show you how it's done. And you don't even have to do anything. You can just create 4 videos from one URL, and then you can distribute them. And you can fine tune them as much as you like. So, okay, I think we're gonna do a case study. And I can do from a URL. I'm gonna find one. I don't think you can. Here's my Canon case, our Canon case, that of course Maddie wrote because she's the best, and it's an amazing case about how the company uses Storykit. They're known for their cameras, of course, but they do a lot more. They specialize in optical imaging and industrial product. Yeah, you know Canon. I'm gonna copy paste that URL. It's in English and I want the videos to be in English, so I'll just click next. I can name this Canon, and I'm gonna choose my favorite theme of the year, which is called Aaron, because that's the AI name. I haven't prepared an asset library for this, but wow! Project libraries, this is amazing. This is the first time, more or less, that I'm checking it out. So you get like a reacting to content campaigns video. I should have maybe checked out where this was from the beginning. Okay, we'll go with the, LinkedIn assets, and we can change that later. And I click generate videos. So now it's heading over to the AI is heading over to the URL, and it's scraping that content to come back to me and give me these. So it's writing the script for me. You can start trying out content campaigns as soon as you want. Just make sure that you've opted in for the Storykit AI before, and you can do that by reaching out to me or to your customer success manager or to your client manager, perhaps. So I have now, just from those clicks, 4 different videos. Here's a Canon case without quotes. And you get an idea here of what it is, how the video is going to look like. That's one. Here's a trailer based on that. And remember now that I didn't choose a specific asset library, so I can go in and add that afterwards, some pictures of the person that the quote comes from. This one has a leading quote. So it starts off with the powerful quote from Åsa and the big case story. So this is the longer one that's supposed to be consumed only in feed. And I click on one of these because I feel like, I want to make some cool edits. I know that I have some great assets of Åsa somewhere. So I hope Åsa is okay with me using that. But I can do some I can go take their logo and then manually add that to here we go. Some cameras to reinforce what we're talking about here. And I can view it. Some of your blocks are seen allowed. To create a storyboard, please. Oh, it's the beta, as we said. There we go. And now I'm creating my video. 1 out of 4 that I got from one single text. And I have issues with my internet connection as well. This is going great. Okay, I think if I'm happy here, and I think it looks good, I can just create it. And I can do as many edits I want to. I can change the assets. I can change the font size. I can change one of the fade text slides to a block text if I will. But what I have is 4 outlines, 4 drafts that will make me save so much time instead of me starting from scratch when I want to make a case study video. So that's generating. Probably since my internet connection and Google is down, we'll just give it a few seconds. And it's funny because you can make it can take like 18 seconds to generate a whole video, but like I become so, everything is supposed to happen so fast. So sometimes 18 seconds feel like, huh? And then you realized, okay, this would have taken me so much longer if I was using another tool. I'm allowed to say that. It's my webinar. And I have a video now with the quote. And if I want to do some changes, I can just go in and make them afterwards. I can send this to a colleague of mine if I want to have their input on it, and they can go in and do their edits. And it's just a great way to have something to start with so that I don't have to start from scratch. I don't have to start with a blank storyboard, or I don't even need to have an idea before I do this. Oops. And there we are, 45 minutes on the clock. This didn't go as planned, but it's all a learning. And yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining today. Thank you.